talk about high school sports on this Thursday. I mean Thursday morning, folks. You know why we're on a Thursday? Because we got ball games tonight, baby, and it gets hot because district play is in effect. We're going to recap what happened last week, and we're going to talk about what's going to happen tonight. But, folks, I tell you, I got my man Big RT. Ratings was good last week, so we decided to bring him back, and I guess he's going to clown and get busy.
That's the reason.
I'll
let you have it. Go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Big E?
Not much, man. Another week. Another lot of good matchups from last week. Even more this week. Ready to get into it.
I tell you, folks, man, right now these coaches got to be biting their nails because you get into district play. Hey, you lose one, you might fall down to second place, third place, or even out of the playoffs. I tell you right now, there were some big upsets last week and some teams that got their feelings hurt. But, hey, we'll jump in that, real quick. But, hey, good to have you both you guys here on this Thursday morning. What's going on?
Same old. School, work. It's going to be my life for the next few years. So
there's nothing wrong with that, Biggie. You getting that education. What's up with you, big Mr. RT?
Same old. Just, working and trying to be cool like Tony.
Hey, man, I'm as cool as a fan, but it's hot as hell up here in the dungeon. Well, folks, we can jump into this, man. We're going to have a couple special guests tonight. We're going to have my man Charles Thompson. CT be in the house. He's going to talk about what great game his son played, man. You couldn't ask for a better OU Texas shootout, man. It was a great game. He's going to talk about, what was it like as a father being there as an ex-OU quarterback, but now cheering for Texas, and his son played lights out. So, somebody had to lose the ball game, but I tell you, I think both teams won. I think OU won by coming back and finding their quarterback in Caleb Williams, and Texas found them a quarterback in Casey Thomas for the next few years, man. I'm just telling you right now, Lincoln Riley's probably over there sweating bullets because I'm telling you, man, you probably should have went after that young man because Spencer Rattler ain't doing nothing. He's like a baby in a penthouse, rattling. He ain't ready to go. So you're pretty sure you'll see him in a transfer portal. We probably catch him down at Langston here in a few months. But I tell you right now, it's going to be another hot show because what we do is keep it what?
Keep it 100.
Keep it 100 all day long. Folks, that's what we're going to jump into big first. Big E, what we got going? You want to recap what we vote?
Recap of last week?
Yeah, it was recap last week.
You sure you want to do that? Because I think you 0 for 4, 0 for 5. That's why I'm here, y'all. I come to eat. Go ahead.
I am not 0 for 5. Okay. This is the deal is with me.
What is it?
It's almost Christmas time, right?
Okay.
So I like giving. Instead of receiving.
Oh, okay.
I'm all in the mood for giving.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because, it's the jolly, jolly world of Christmas and Thanksgiving. You give. It's not about the receiving. It's about giving. And I like giving to my two guys right here, RT and Big E. Big E he got a steak dinner from me, and we can go Friday night. He wants to go up to Santa Fe with me. My baby girl turned 11 today. Happy birthday to my baby girl.
Zoe.
Zoe J.
Birthday, Zoe.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, what 5 more years I'll be buying her a car. Right now I'm just buying her Jordans. So, hey.
You know what?
Talk to me.
You got a good point. So because of that, I'm going to let you slide going forward where you can save that money instead of buying me them chicken sandwiches. You need all the money you can get because, baby girl, that's your baby. You got to buy that big, nice, expensive car.
No.
So I'm going to let you save that money.
No. She said, Daddy, I want the BMW.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she can get the BMW. Now I get me a new BMW.
Oh, okay.
That's what we do when you what? Stock what?
Shelves.
You can do them kind of things. Because we keep it 100. But no, let's get into this. Let's get into these games before we bring Charles Thompson on and have a little bit of fun with him.
Yep.
Get it started, Big E.
All right, 6A1. We're going to start off in 6A1 last week. Game that we picked, and this is definitely not an outcome that we expected. Norman North over Moore, 29-6 last week. After that hot start that Moore got to, it all came to an end last night. But it's not the tell-all, be-all of their season, though. So, but yeah.
We talk about Moore, it's probably the best start since 1999, starting off 5-0. People call it an upset. Is it really an upset? Because has Moore played any? And I'm not, what we do, we keep it 100. So people can be mad at me at Moore this week. But
don't worry about that. Because like you said, we keep it 100. So we also can back it up with facts, right?
Yes, sir. And that's what I was going to say. Has Moore beat anybody with a winning record? They beat Moore. They beat Southmore. They beat Westmore. Together, them two teams has won one game. Together. Both Moore schools won one game. So,
wow.
Moore, I think Norman North, I got to watch them play against Norman earlier year, and, they got a good offense. Defense is kind of suspect, but their offense can go up and down. They got a great quarterback in Gavin Franks. Kid is signed to go play college football at Princeton. So, it tells you, smart kid. Yeah. You got a smart kid running your offense. Guess what? You're probably not going to have a lot of mistakes happening. But, nothing taken away from Moore. But have they played anybody yet that has a winning record? Right. And when I start doing the research, I go back and I start looking, never really beat anybody yet. I mean, you beat who? You beat, was it Lott? God dang, who had they? I'm sorry, I had it all on top of my head.
Outside of Sophomore and Westmore,
I think it was PC. I think they beat PC Original.
Yeah, I'm trying to look right now. Oh, Edmond North.
Yeah,
they beat them in week 5. Week 4, who'd they have? That's when they beat Southmore. Week 4. Week 3, Squirtle's only got 2 games listed for 6A1 on week 3, so I don't know what's going on there.
No, I mean, week 1, week 2.
Yeah. But yeah, that looks like. And then I know week 1 was Westmore. Week 2, I do not see a Moore on there. But Norman. They beat Norman.
They beat Norman. And that was a shootout. It was a shootout game, so that could have went either way. So they
out
have
of the
it.
First few games combined, it's only about 4 or 5 wins for
those teams. So that's what I'm saying. So really upset. Maybe Norman North is better than we thought they were. Who said that? Coach Green. They're better than we thought they were. But I don't think Moore. I mean, if you look at Moore's schedule, man, it gets tough. I mean, I think they got Union coming in this week. I mean, it gets tough. So they got a chance. Could lose the last 3 or 4 games and finish up 5-5. So I mean, you start off good, but it's at the end. You can win those non-district games, but it's all about winning those district games. Yep. Because right now, last week I had them going to the state championship, but now you look at it, they might not even make it to the playoffs. So they got to get things turned around here in the next few weeks. I'm telling you, their next couple games is pretty tough. So like I said, they got some of the better teams on the other side of the state coming in town, and they're having to go that side of town. So that's kind of a tough one. But, I think, like I said, Moore got Norman North got a good running back in Chapman. This kid, I've known this kid. He was a hell of a wrestler. I've known him. He was on Team Oklahoma with Gabe. So this kid's a tough-nosed kid. RT brought it up last week, wrestling. You get a wrestling kid on the mat, man, they're tough. And anybody that's recruiting out there, I think you should recruit a kid that plays football and wrestle, because you're going to get a tough-nosed kid. Definitely. And if a kid can cut weight and do it right, you got a tough-nosed kid. I'm telling you, I live with one, man, and I tell you, it's probably the 4 or 5 months that we hate life because we can't eat what we want, and he can't eat what he wants. So, you know what? It was tough. But guess what? He ain't living here no more. I eat the hell what I want. That's why I'm this size.
We can tell.
Yes, sir. What else, Big E? What else we
got? Mustang versus Union. Union beating Mustang 48-10. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you picked Mustang for the
I did pick Mustang, and I'm just telling you right, folks. I'm going to start keeping it 100 because you know why? I was playing around. I need to quit playing around. I need to get serious about this.
Okay.
I need to get really serious about my picks.
Okay.
Because I've been giving away too many chicken dinners and chicken sandwiches, whatever you want to call it, that I'm going broke.
Man.
But I'm going to be real this week when I get my picks.
Okay.
I'm going to hit every one of them. It's going to be like a parlay card, baby, on a high school card, and I'm going to get it all right. I'm going to keep it 100 this week. I promise you. Back me up. Come with me. Join my picks because it's going to be 100% right this week. But Union's the real deal, man. I got to watch them. I watched that game play back last night, and I just tell you, man, Mustang just don't have it, man. I mean, I know they got the Jacoby kid, but, man, Union did what they wanted to do up and down the field on those guys, man. It's just like Mustangs don't have it, man. It's so crazy because this side of the state has not won a state championship in, over 20-some years, and it seems like it's not going to happen. 6A.
It's been since 96.
96, Andy Collier was the last QB. I mean, Andy is still young, but he got a bunch of gray. I love you, Collier. But I'm just saying, that's the last quarterback who won a state championship on this side of the state in 6A. Not 5A, because you know who takes care of business in 5A is them who?
Carl Albert Titans.
Carl Albert Titans. Welcome to the table, CA. They finally delivered their helmet to me, because that's what happens when you win. You get on the table. When you lose.
What happened?
I'm not saying nothing. I just keep it at 100.
Let's see what else we got this week. Jinx and Norman. Jinx winning 49-21. I think even though that was a kind of a blowout, that game was still a little bit closer than I thought it would be. 21 points to Norman. So
I'll tell you this though, Norman still got a chance to make the playoffs. They got to win out. They got Westmore tonight. And then they got Santa Fe, and I think they got Enid. So they got to win these next 3 games to get in. Yep. Same thing over Zoe. I mean, poor Zoe right now, he's sitting at 1-5, man, and it's a tough year, especially with all the kids he had move in, the kids that was already there, and you get some good move ins. I mean, he had the kid come in from Norman, a couple kids come in from Carl Albert, and you put those guys that had that winning tradition to bring it to Westmore, and you're not getting anything out of it. I don't understand what's going on there. If there was a coach's hot seat, I would say he's in the hot seat. I love you, Zoe, but I just think it's real. You want me to keep it real on this show, and I'm keeping it real. I mean, last year, the last few years, you haven't really got to you might have got to the playoffs, but you're getting beat out the first round. Then you got a school right around the corner from you that is winning. And, with sophomore and Westmore together, they got 1 win. And
it's tough.
That's tough, and 2 guys that played college ball and pro ball is Josh Norman and Zoe, playing for Missouri, then playing for the Baltimore, and then the Carolina Panthers, and then here you got Josh Norman playing for OU, and then playing for the San Diego Chargers. You would figure, I don't know if it's the staff or the kids are moving out, but whatever it is, those 2 guys got to get it figured out because, man, I think Norman I would say probably have 1 more year. Yeah. He's only his 2nd year, but Zoe's been there for a few years now, man, and the Romans get to start, and I'm just telling you right now, man, I mean, high school sports, and they're paying you good money, and you ain't winning. Guess what? Those boosters and those mom and daddy start calling for you. I mean, you thought, Spencer Rattler had it rough. Think about it, man. He just a college kid that ain't getting paid. So you got a young man that's coaching his team. Like I said, with his background, I hope you get it together, Zoe, because it's tough right about now.
Yep. Moving on to 6A2. A lot of good matchups in 6A2 from last week. First one we're going to talk about here is Booker T and Sand Springs.
That's another one of your picks that didn't go too good.
Well, you know what? It was a 32-35 game. I tell you, man, if you look at the athletes that Booker T got and you look at the athletes that Sand Springs got, you thought it'd be a blowaway. But like I told you, I mean, I talked to our coach today, and they said the same thing I said. I still think Sand Springs is going to knock off Choctaw. I don't know why. Not being a hater, not trying to knock on you, Choctaw. No, you took a bad beat last week. I did pick Choctaw last week. I did. I mean, I told you my force, but I said that. I said Choctaw would beat Bigsby in regular season, and then lose to Sand Springs. Did I not say that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but they came up 63 points short.
We haven't even made it to that.
Okay. What I'm just saying though is that I still think Sand Springs. It's just a matchup, man. Sometimes it's a matchup. If you look at Dell City beat Carl Albert, 53-20.
Yeah,
and then go to overtime in the Bishop McGinnis. It's just a matchup. I just think that Sand Springs is going to match up. They got a big offensive line. Choctaw's D line is good, but I just think that Sand Springs D line is pretty good, and Choctaw I think is kind of beat up a little bit on the offensive line. So that's why I think they'll have the edge. And then the quarterback is good, and Jones at the running back is good. Another wrestler, tough kid. Really, truly, Booker T lost to Choctaw 20-29, and their best player was out the second quarter. So
wow,
it does a lot for you, man. I mean, and I never thought Booker T took shots down the field against Choctaw, and we'll get into the Bigsby game. And Bigsby did it on the second play of the game. So I just think sometimes it's the matchup, though. But I mean, I pay up on my chicken dinner. Hey, I came up short, but I still think Sand Springs will knock those guys off. But I think they gave Booker T a game, 35-32.
Yeah, that was a game.
It was a hell of a game. It was a hell of a game.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly wasn't expecting it to be that close, but really, you've been talking about Sand Springs all season. I haven't been buying it, but even with this loss, I'm starting to buy it now. They made that again.
They're good. Bobby Klink is a good coach, man. I'm just telling you. And he's going to have things rocking and rolling right there. I know everybody's like, oh, man, Bigsby's leaving, and who's going to be the front runner? I think Sand Springs can be a front runner. People want to come play for a coach like Bobby Klink, And you can't count Booker T out because even though Booker T, Bigsby's leaving and everybody, I think Booker T still is going to be that team that's those guys, like, all those guys that went to Booker T, they like to send their kids there, McQuarters and those guys, you know.
Yeah.
So I think you're gonna see the second. It's kind of like Bigsby.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I sat over the stands and I listened to, you know, talk to some of those parents, man. Oh well, you know, his brother is there, like the linebacker number 30. Well, he has a younger brother that's still on the team. Presley. I mean, shit, they've had about 6 go through there, and his youngest one's gonna be the best one they got. So I'll tell you right now, everybody in 6A small is happy, but everybody in 6A big is upset because damn, you got to deal with that team. That team is. I'm telling you right now, that's the best high school team I've seen coach, and I played on that 89-90 Bombers team with Gundy and Drew and Heath Woods and all those guys, man. And you see that team, and you look at this Bigsby team. That Bigsby team's the real deal, man. I'm just telling you,
Jinx
has had some good play, but they're just fundamentally mentally sound, man.
Jinx this year.
Yeah, and they're fundamentally sound. They don't make a lot of mistakes.
No,
and that's what it's all about. I mean, I think they might have jumped off sides one time, and then your competitor jumps off sides 6 or 7 times. Yeah. It's not going to help you. Then it's 3rd and 1 on the 1 yard line on the goal line, and you jump off sides. Then you make it 3rd and inches. You jump off sides again. You can't do those little small things to win a big ball game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, penalties will kill you all the time. You know, and then I mean, we'll get into that game. I don't know where we're at.
Yeah.
Who we talking about?
Let's talk about Midwest City and Dale City from last week. I mean, that's you know, big rivalry. Just schools that are just like 5-10 minutes away from each other, both in the same district, and then you know, Dale City comes up with the win 27-6, but it's always one of those games that close. It doesn't matter who's running or who's good that year, who's bad that year.
It's a bedlam game. I mean, it's a backyard brawl, if you want to call it. But I tell you on that, though, you talk about the final score was 29-6. I think that was the score at halftime. But Dale City really did that in the second half. You know, they threw, I mean, the quarterback, Gates, you know, he threw the ball pretty good. I think he had 100. He was 5 for 10 for 104 yards, 1 TD. Then he had 2 TDs on the run. They're balanced. Their offense is really balanced. You know, I think he had 12 carries for 76 yards. Then Ethan Lawrence, I think he had another 63. Then Jay Smith had 53. Then Canigel, their outstanding DB, finally got on the offensive side of the ball, had 2 catches for 87 yards. But I mean, they kind of spread the ball around. But I tell you what's really impressive about Dale City, the defense. When I look at their stat sheet, man, every one of those kids has 4 or 5 tackles. It's not just one kid having 20 tackles, not one kid having 10 tackles. It's spread around on the depth chart. I mean, everybody is making a tackle. Yeah. And Coach, I did the Coach Jones show, and I told him, I said, hey man, you got PC North tonight. I mean, good team. They got a couple guys that can go, but next week is what it's all about. Deer Creek. Yeah. And I've been telling you guys about Deer Creek. Deer Creek is the real deal, dude. I know people's not saying, man, Tony, you dumb. You just saying no. I think Deer Creek.
If they beat Deer Creek, they probably gonna have the number 1 seed coming out of their district.
Deer Creek.
No, Dale City.
Well, this is the funky thing about this, though, and we got to look into it. If somebody knows, please tell us. Okay, let's do the scenario.
Okay.
If Deer Creek beats Dale City, Deer Creek, Dale City, and Stillwater all have 1 loss.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then it's probably gonna go to points.
Yeah.
So Dale City probably end up getting the 1 seed because they've only given it up. If you watch the Coach Jones show, check that show out. They've only given up an average of 4 points a game because they shut a lot of people out.
So it's points allowed, not points scored.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing that you're looking at though. So, but if they go out and take care of business, but only thing's going to happen because Stillwater could sneak back in and get that 2 seed because they beat Deer Creek. They're head to head. So it could go Dale City, Stillwater, Deer Creek. And I think you got Putnam City, Norman North, and Midwest City all fighting for that 4th seed. And whoever gets that 4th seed is going to have to probably go face Bigsby. Yeah. But I tell you this, though. I heard it, Lawton is starting to get some of their guys back. So don't count Lawton out.
Yeah, I think just beat Putnam City North.
Yeah, I think Midwest City's in trouble. They got Deer Creek tonight. You lost last week to Dale City. You lose tonight to Deer Creek, and you still haven't played Stillwater. You still haven't played PC North. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you got your work cut out. So, hopefully they can get it together. Coach Hall, you guys over there, hope y'all can get it turned around. But right now, I think they're on a bubble.
Yeah.
Okay? They're kind of like the 64 tournament bracket. They're right there on the bubble.
Yeah, let's talk about the game that everybody wants to talk about this week, and that's Bixby versus Choctaw.
Are you sure you want to talk about that, E?
Let's talk about it, man.
I really don't want to talk about it because, anytime I say something, I'm being negative. I'm hating on Choctaw. I'm not giving Choctaw.
Did you pick Choctaw?
I did.
So both of y'all picked the Yellow Jackets. You said something about a swarm and it stings you, right?
I did.
Bixby did what? The coach. What's the coach's name at Bixby? One of them. Anybody.
Coach Cole, my defense back.
You know what he did? He wanted me to surprise you, ball. Hold on.
Oh, man.
Montgomery's the head coach, but Coach Cole's my man. DB.
They told me to donate these to y'all. So when y'all are getting like pests, like buzzing and stinging you, use what they use.
Use what Bixby use?
That's what they use.
They use these to what? I like that.
That's what happened.
I think HR Justice gonna like that for her office.
Man,
this mine's
there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, that's for your. Hey, that's for the haters. So when they don't like the show,
you don't like the show, you don't like
it out. 6 feet, social distance. Don't come close.
For you haters out there,
man,
keep watching the show, haters, because hey, we love your ratings. We love you keep watching the show. But to get into this ball game, man, I tell you, man, I pulled up, man, and I walked by and I went to go to say, me and Jessica went to say hi to Coach Cole.
Yeah,
gave some love before the game. I got to sit with Tink Collins, ex-OU player, Major Myers' dad, So we had a good little group of guys sitting there, man. The Bigsby fans are good. I would have sat on Choctaw side, but you guys are all squished, so that's why they come over there.
Yeah, it was pretty squished over there.
It was kind of squished. I mean, E sat over there. I know my kids were there. But I tell you, though, man, when you come out in the ball game and Presley gets the ball the first time he touched the ball, and there's like two-hand touch, and he didn't get touched. Yeah. They call holding. I didn't see holding.
That's what happened?
That's what happened. So they come back, they bring it back, man. So then they split him out, and he's one-on-one with the DB.
What you mean they split him out?
They split him out. He went from being in the backfield to
they went to like a 5-wide set.
Yeah, 5-wide set. So I had to go man to man. And I talked to a guy that played college ball. And we talked about this just the other day on the phone, and he said Bigsby was calling their plays from the line of scrimmage. They were seeing what Choctaw was letting them get in, and they was basing off that. Yeah. And then he said you could see that from that play when they split Presley out. Oh, he has one-on-one coverage. You can hear the coach and the DB coach for Choctaw saying. Slant. Like, I don't think the DB caught it because he didn't get it because the kid caught it.
Coach over there?
Who's the DB coach? I think it's Coach Porter.
Yeah, Porter and Carter still coaching.
Like I said last week, Porter knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. So he called slant. The kid didn't pick it up, but the kid catches the ball. I don't know if he goes 80, 75, whatever it is. But I just tell you, that Preston kid is really impressive, man, just to watch the kid play. Because his size, you're like, man, that kid's tiny. But, man, he don't get hit. So I think that's why
I picked Bixby. Not only because they probably got one of the best, if not the best, last 3 or 4 years, the record. But, man, Presley, you said that he only scored like 2 touchdowns?
He only had 2 touchdowns.
But they scored 70? So that was a team effort, man. That's a big machine.
I tell you what they did, though. I tell you what Bigsby really did, man. They decoyed him a lot, man. So there's like one play that they ride him. He don't get it and they go backside, man. And I'll tell you, number 10, the backup QB had a hell of a night, man. That kid was strong. But I was really impressed with the big tight end.
Oh, man. It was crazy to watch him play.
I'm just saying, I've seen film on him and I was like, man, is that kid really that good? But when you see him in person, man, he is good. You got a good one there, I'm just telling you, man. He's the real deal. His brother's number 8, they're twins, and he might not get the same, hype that his brother get, but I think he's a good ball player. I was really impressed with number 30 on defense, man. I thought he did a good job filling the hole. They gave up one drive that Choctaw wouldn't have scored on him. Yep. But, Choctaw just didn't have an answer for him. I think if you play that team 10 times, Biggs going to win 10 of them. They might sneak one out. But I just tell you, man, it was a beat down at home, coming out with your black helmet and stuff like that. And that's why I said sometimes you don't wake up that you don't give nobody that bulletin board. Because, walking into the game, you could tell Bigsby was ready, man. They were ready, man. Yeah. Coach Cole was kind of like, oh, these guys broke out the helmets on us. It was just more fuel to the fire, And to me, I just think, you can't do that, man. I mean, I coached Little League ball, man. I would tell my coaches, and, you see I got my Jones hat on. We got a tough game this Sunday. I'm sorry, this Saturday. We got Shawnee. We coming for you, Shawnee. Oh, whoops. But I'm just telling you right now, though, you can't get nobody bulletin board material. I'm just telling you can't. Because when you do, man, you come out and say, hey, well, we're going to black out for your grave and all that stuff. As you can see, folks, we wore black today because the men in black.
So, I'm Will Smith, Tommy Lee. What that make you?
I'm the alien.
The alien. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, but hey, if I get out of hand, y'all can smack me. You know what I'm saying? But we're men in black today. We wore blackout today because we wanted to be blackout too. We want to be part of the blackout. But I just tell you though, man. I just think that I think Dell City. What y'all laughing at?
You funny, man.
How funny? I'm just keeping it 100.
Yeah, That's 100, but
I'm keeping it straight. I'm just, I don't give a care who likes me, who don't like me. Ain't nobody paying the bills up in here, Big E. And we've discussed this, right?
Yeah.
So, guess what? As long as you're not disrespecting my wife, my kids, and my baby girl, my boys will take care of their own. And then if you get too close to me, Jonah and Jerry's going to take care of y'all. No, I'm joking. But no, on real talk, though, man, I just think that, Bigsby's the best team in the state. 5A, 6A, Big 6A. Can't nobody touch those guys, man. Coach Montgomery, man, you're a hell of a coach, man. Your interview, I watched you in your interview, man. Well-spoken young man. Just you had your boys ready to go, man. And I'm gonna keep it 100, man. And people might get upset at me. Bigsby ain't got a bunch of African American kids on their team. Mm-hmm. But I'm just telling you, you ain't gotta have a bunch of African American kids on your team to be good in football. You know what it's called?
Good in anything.
That's it. It's called being coached up and being in the right spot, doing your assignment, knowing your assignment. If you got guys out there that's blowing their assignment, not know where they're going, there's one play, and I'm not going to say the kid's name or number. There's one play we're sitting in there, and me and one of the dads look at each other and say, this kid is lost. And guess what? Bigsby right over the top of him. Because, you can look at the kid. And if you got good guys up there calling plays and telling you the plays, you're going to see those things. You're going to see those things. But one thing I will say, Bigsby, and I'm not getting on y'all, I'm in a beverage business, right?
Yes, sir.
And so we compete against the wine guys. Mm-hmm. Well, all the wine guys always got backpacks. I call them backpack guys. Backpack guys. Well, that's what Bigsby staff looked like. Every one of them had a backpack. I like it, but hey, they got a lot of knowledge in that backpack.
Got to, because they tied Ada for the most consecutive wins in 11-man football in Oklahoma at 42. Yeah. If they win out, I believe they will pass Wagner. So, I would be humble enough to say I would like one of those tools out of the backpack. No.
I think they're great. Coach, you can just tell they was. And, the kids didn't throw fits over there. The parents was into it, man. It was just a good atmosphere, man. It wasn't. And like I said, they're the real deal. It's the only thing I can say, man. I ain't got one bad word to say about it. I ain't got nothing bad to say about Tulsa. I think Corbin get those guys coached up. I think Bigsby kind of came with a different game plan. They really didn't use Presley. I think they used him a lot as a decoy. And then when you got that many weapons, man, number 5, number 30, even Blankenship got in there and ran the ball real good. And I tell you, you got to tip your hat a little bit to Coach Montgomery, because he could have scored 3 more touchdowns and probably scored 100. And he got down to the goal line and nailed the last minute and a half and with great sportsmanship, So I know a lot of coaches would have ran it up, and he took a lot of his starters out in the third quarter. So hats off to you, Bigsby. You guys
are
the real for sure.
I don't think anyone's going to beat Bigsby, but it kind of reminds me of that Carl Albert team in 2016. Everyone assumed or thought that, the way Bishop McGinnis had beat Carl Abbott in the regular season, that they had it won. Those kids even dyed their hair gold before the championship game. And it doesn't always turn out like that.
No.
I don't think anyone would beat Bigsby. But like I said, I'm all about the west side of the state. If we can get one over here, as you stated, it's been a long time.
Long time.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing about, you kind of already said it, but just reiterating it. Like Bigsby, on all 3 sides of the ball, just looked that I think played an almost perfect game, like as close as you can be to perfect. You can tell the way those kids are. They're disciplined. They're not doing anything stupid after the play. They're not doing anything stupid during the play. Mm-hmm. They're making smart plays and smart decisions at all times. And then you had Choctaw, who's over here. You got a few. There's a few 3rd and short, 4th and short situations. And every time, Bixby got him with that hard count. Every time they jumped off sides. And I said that. I said, if Choctaw can limit that, they can win. But I think they had more problems with just that if you lose 70-7. But man, I mean, just Bixby, they came out there and they knew exactly what they were going to do, and they executed it to a T.
No, they did. Yeah. I tell you one thing I think did hurt Choctaw is losing Spencer Boyles. And I know he's not. I know he's not 63 points better to go help you.
Did they lose him in that game?
They lost him in that game, and he gets hurt the first quarter. But Spencer Boyles, to me, in the Booker T game, he was a player of the game. I mean, he's everywhere. He's scrappy. Kid's tough. He just signed a scholarship to go play baseball at OU's. I think everything should be good. I think I talked to Rocky. He said he should be out maybe 4 to 6 weeks, so they might get him back by playoffs. But, if you already signed a scholarship, what do you do, I mean, but I think he hurts. I think, like I told you before, McConnell hurts, man. The kid signed with TCU. He's a Power 5, offensive lineman, and then I know, some of those guys, I think Latrell was going to, he was off and on, but I'm just saying, I think that kid's a tough-notch kid. I think, someone's probably gonna pick that guy up. I mean, the kid is tough, and then the other little running back, I know they don't like me saying their names, but I'm giving them props, so don't get upset. But Juju, I think that number 6 is a real deal. I love that guy, man. I'm telling you,
he's a baller.
The kid can go. But before I get off the Choctaw Yoja, I gotta say one more thing. My little nephew went off Monday night in the JV game. Quick clinic, Colin Sanford went off.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Got him a Hail Mary catch, man, and that's what it all comes about, man. Get the kid some love, man. I mean, he might not be the biggest, the fastest, but I'm telling you, he's gonna give you everything you got, like his brother Cade Sanford. So you folks out there in Choctaw, give him a high five. I know I tweeted him out, nobody retweeted it. That's okay. Everybody knows what it's all about. But the kid is a ball player, man. Let him touch that varsity field a little bit. He might surprise some people.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go.
Moving on to 5A now. Claremore versus Collinsville. Collinsville had a little bit of a scare, just a little bit.
What was that final, Big E?
The final was 27-3.
No, how you gonna say a little bit of a scare?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was 20. That's the least amount of points Collinsville has scored all season.
I mean, they had thunderstorms.
And against Claremore, a team that's 1-5, you would think that they come out there and whoop them.
They're probably developing other players, keeping everyone else healthy. Getting them ready
that could be it too.
Probably play JV because JV wasn't going to play Monday night.
Yeah, and then Coweta went out there and beat East Central 57-0. So you have that, and then MacArthur versus Southeast 61-13. MacArthur's or Lawton Mac, they're undefeated right now, but they're another one of those teams that they haven't really played necessarily anybody that's been able to compete with them yet. So I'm excited to see them go out there and compete because I think they could be a really good team. But you never really find out who they are until they play some of those other competitors in 5A: Carl Albert, Bishop McGinnis, Collinsville, Coweta. So McAllister. Yep. So and then speaking of McAllister, they go down and beat Durant 21-56. And then and then we have really, really close game. Is really exciting. I bet Carl Albert, Bishop McGinnis. Carl Albert wins by a point, and I did predict that they would win by a point last week. I said, I got the
time out. Okay, time out. Yeah. I heard it was a hell of a game.
Wait a minute.
I heard it was a hell of a game.
But that's why I'm back.
Why are you back?
One moment. I came back to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because Tony giving out free sandwiches. I appreciate my Titans for taking care of me.
Everybody know.
You know what I mean?
While I'm giving out these free sandwiches, I'm writing all that stuff off on taxes.
The last time I didn't have good manners. This week I do. Bow with me. Thank you, Lord. Please bless the food that I'm about to eat. Thank you for my winning streak. I will be back next week. Amen. Y'all appreciate that?
That's what we do. We keep it 100.
We keep it 100. Y'all see the sandwich? Yeah. Well, hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh, he's gotten something else in the bag. What else he got?
I didn't have good manners before.
Oh, man.
So I don't want to get dirty. I got dirty last time. So this time, you know what I mean? Winner,
chicken dinner. That's what they say. Winner, chicken dinner.
I got to come eat good. But, y'all see that? Let me get out. Boom, you got it.
What does it say?
Winner, chicken dinner. Keep it 100.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what we do. Keep it 100. Hey, you need one of those orders, we'll get you one for Christmas for your wife, your husband. That's what we do. We make stuff here, folks. Get you one. It's in that gold, too.
Yep.
That's that bomber gold. Black and gold right there. Hey, don't let him fool you. He was a bomber.
Speaking of that, long story short, as you said, that game was just like last week against Guthrie. It came down to the last few seconds.
Tell us about it, RG. Preach it to us.
I'm going to try to keep its story short. I'm going to brag and boast a little bit about Carlisle, but why not? They're the champions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, man, it was, we was up by 8. It was like maybe 2.5, 3 minutes left of the fourth quarter. And Bishop McGinnis had the ball. They driving. Okay, they moving the ball downfield. Then guess what? Tayshawn come up big, interception. Boom. So that gets it down to maybe close to 2 minutes. We driving down the field. Long story short, it was like we needed like 7 yards. We went for it on 3rd and 4. Didn't get it, but in that transition of them trying to get the first down, I'm walking down the steps. I see Tommy Lands out there. I said in my DJ Khaled voice, and another one. We got another one, and I hear a voice, a lady's voice. RT, don't speak that. The game is not over. And I look up. It's the coolest principal out there, Mrs. Goggins.
Miss Goggins.
So I'm like, you know what, Miss Goggins, we got it. I got faith in that CA magic. And then we didn't get the...
Say that one more time.
I got faith in that CA magic.
I like it, CA magic.
So we didn't get it. Bishop McGinnis had the ball. They're driving downfield. And they getting closer and closer. They get down to almost the 30. And I'm like, ooh, here we go again. Then in the very next play, they threw a pass. Y'all need to go check this guy out. Tayshawn from Carlisle. Had the biggest hit of his career. Knocked the kid's helmet off. Everybody was cheering like, yeah. So we under a minute. They're probably on their 30. They're huddling up, and next thing you know, I see laundry on the field. Somebody throws a flag. Oh, they said targeting. They went from, that's a 15-yard penalty.
They threw it that late?
Yeah.
Wow.
There was other questionable calls, but anyway.
Well, that flag was green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because they had that Irish luck. So they down to about the 15. Next thing you know, they score. And so we're up by 8 at that point. They score. We're up by 2. And I'm like, they got to get to 2. We got this. Whatever play they ran, it was a fumble. I was like, yeah, ball game. The look of the Irish again. The ball bounced into the end zone. The Irish recovers. It's a tie game. We're going overtime.
Oh, man.
Remind you, I'm thinking, Mrs. Goggins going to get me. I don't want her mad at me.
Yeah.
I got faith in our guys, and sure enough, coin toss, we win the coin toss as we did in the beginning of the game. So we went on defense. We want to see what you're talking about. They scored. And so I'm thinking, they already missed 2 PATs. Last week, Tayshawn blocked the PAT. So I'm saying to myself, Tayshawn, give me another one. Give me another one. Sure enough, boop, he blocked it. I was like, oh, yeah, you give Carlisle 4 downs on the 10, we getting in that thing.
Ball game.
And guess what happened? Your player of the year.
Player of the year. I'm calling it, baby. Go for that young man.
Reed DeQuazy. Scores a touchdown. It's a tie game. Now, our main kicker, he's out. Recovering from an ACL injury. But we got 2 other underclassmen. One of them took care of business. We won 35-34. I brought up Reed as he scored the winning touchdown or to tie it. But, as I said last week, he just picked up the football in April, basically trying to perfect his game at QB. Learn the system over there at Carlisle.
Yes, sir.
A lot of people question his passing. When Guthrie passed it. This game, he had a 70-yard pass to the freshman, Trinae Washington. Had another about 30 or 35-yard pass for a touchdown to Quincy Dawkins, my mistake. And then, speaking of Quincy, he didn't play football last year.
He's a basketball player. Coach Dunn went, talked to him and said, we can really need you. Good partnership, got it done. So he threw for 2 touchdowns, almost 200 yards in passing. He ran for almost 100 yards rushing and scored the touchdown. Yes, sir.
But I also mentioned the freshman, the sophomore, the junior, Tayshawn, and more importantly, the senior, the leader, Kentrell Bazell.
Yep.
He scored twice.
Yeah.
So, that was a team. Man, that was a team win from the coaches putting them in the right position to be successful and the players stepping up. And remember what I said at the beginning of the year. It reminds me of the season of 2012 where they were struggling a bit. But Carl Albert to graduate 20-plus seniors of the winningest class. A few others transfer out, with a few others focusing just on basketball or baseball. A lot of people counting them out. You can't count a champion out. Those coaches know what they're doing.
Yeah. And that's a great staff,
so,
like I said.
One last comment. Mr. Goggins, I will not celebrate a win until the lights is out, and we got it. You got my promise.
Let's keep it from 100 to Carl Albert style.
Excuse
but
me,
folks, we're going to take a break. We're going to bring CT on and talk about that OU Texas shootout. Man, I know part of him is upset, but part of him is happy because his boy played lights out. Yeah. We'll talk about Casey's performance, talk about what he thinks about Spencer Rattler in the Williams deal. You know, one point in time, he was a quarterback with Jamel Holloway, so he knows the feeling is. So we'll be right back after what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it 100 Oklahoma
High School Sports. Welcome back to Keeping It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. We're back, and we have Charles Thompson on the phone, legendary OU quarterback, but his son is currently playing for the Texas Longhorns, and OU and Texas just met up this past weekend for the Red River Showdown. So let's talk about that a little bit. Charles, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing great. Obviously, a very exciting weekend. You know, I'll tell you guys, a lot of my Sooner friends and former teammates and just people around, they're kind of ecstatic after turning the big win. But, I mean, listen, before the game, I got a lot of people that told me, man, I hope Casey has a heck of a game, and I hope OU still wins. And, you know, quite honestly, for me, you know, I thought, man, that if Casey's going to have a heck of a game, I thought that certainly Texas would probably win the game. But I guess they got their dream come true. So for right now, they still allow me back across the border coming home after Sunday afternoon.
Well, Charles, man, it was good to see that game, man. And, you know, and you've been an OU quarterback and had to deal with the quarterback situation with, you know, with Casey and the kid that, you know, the true freshman that came in. And, you know, he sat out the first two games. And, you know, I firmly believed, and me and you kind of talked on this show, you know, a couple months ago that, hey, you know, after that bowl game, when he put the show on, that he could be up for the Heisman. And I still think he could be up for the Heisman. Everybody's talking about Spencer Rattler, but I'm just telling you, man, the kid put on a show Saturday afternoon, man, and you got to be a proud dad. Granted, like you said, he lost, but he won because he proved to the writers, like, this is his job. He deserves his job. And I tell you, man, and not taking nothing from the freshman, Casey had to wait his turn. This young man should have to wait his turn. And you, like I said, you played his position at OU, won a national championship, had Jamel. So it's kind of funny because same thing that Rattler's going through with Williams, you see it. I mean, your son went through it. So can you explain to us a little bit about that, you know, what Rattler's going through, you know, who deserves that job?
Well, listen, I think at the end of the day, you know, coaches are paid a tremendous amount of money. You know, you know, Tony, I can tell you honestly, I was in the same situation. Listen, Barry Switzer had gone to me as Jamel had gotten hurt in the Oklahoma State game the year prior. We ended up losing the national championship to the Miami Hurricanes. We did beat Nebraska and won the conference championship. We lost in the Orange Bowl, the national championship. So the following year, the Switzer was in a dilemma whether he starts Jamel, who had won the national championship in '85, or does he go to me, who he thought I was going towards the future, and he ultimately started out of the game with the season with Jamel, and I ultimately took over. You know, it's a different type of mindset when you're on the sideline and you feel like you are good enough to be playing, and that's kind of what I told my son when he went through his ordeal. You know, at the end of the day, things always balance themselves out. The football gods, have you may want to call them, they usually cheerlead the guy who prepares, who paid his due, who waits opportunity. He's going to get the opportunity. But what he's got to do is he got to be prepared and ready for that to capitalize on that. So that's the kind of philosophy that we had with my son going through what he went through early in the year, guys. Listen, he felt like he should have been named the starter off the gate. He wasn't named the starter. It was very easy for him to say, I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to go somewhere else and not be in the situation where he is now.
Yes,
he
sir.
decided to stick it out, and things turn around back for his way. So my advice with the Spencer Rattler deal at this point, listen, it's going to be very tough psychologically more than anything to Spencer to adjust to not being the guy. He waited his turn behind Jalen Hurts. He got the reins, and now, so to speak, looks like Williams' kid is a hot hand. I would probably tell you, for me, Williams turned the game around in the Texas game because they weren't prepared for
Williams.
him.
That's it.
And they had a lot of great success. Listen, there were a lot of things that had to go right for OU. I thought the run was a great run at 66 yards. To me, that was the best thing he did. I don't know that I necessarily want to put so much. This is the quarterback part of me. The Hail Mary 50-50 balls, you're not going to make a living on those types of plays. It worked out for him on Saturday, and I always tell Tony, it's a deal. That's Sooner Magic. I told Coach Winter at Stoops, the first time I've been on the opposite end of the Sooner Magic deal, and it is a real deal. But I would say right now, guys, if I were in Lincoln Riley's position, I just don't know how he cannot start the Caleb Williams guy and see if he's got what I think it's, a guy that's has the ability to do it with his legs and with the throwing. Listen, the game turned around Saturday because of Caleb Williams' ability to keep the defense honest with the fact that he can pull the ball down and can go 66 yards. And that sometimes, Tony, you've been in fights and games. If you prepare for that, maybe it's not as big of an adjustment for you. But when you're thrown in the midst of a game that happens, then sometimes it's hard to just come back and make that adjustment. And I thought that was lightning in the bottle. We'll see if that continues. I can tell you, Gary Patterson is a defensive, very strong-minded head coach, and he'll have a game plan ready for either quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. But I think if I'm Lincoln Riley, I got to go with Caleb Williams in my start this week.
Well, CT, I got to ask you just one question, man. After the game, your son comes in, he gives you that hug. And you as a father, man, you know how it is. My baby girl turned 11 today, and I got RT Sherman sitting next to me. He joined the show with us, man. Big RT's in the house with a CT. Say what's up to him.
What's up, RT?
What's up, CT?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man.
But
that's good.
But I just want to ask, when after the game, man, your son played lights out, man, and it's me being a Sooner fan, man. Loving you, Jamel. And you guys, man, growing up, wanting to be like you guys, have the deal around the thing around my neck, man, wearing the number 6 and trying to be an option quarterback. But as that father figure, as he comes and he hugs you and you hug him, what did you whisper in his ear? You don't have to tell me, but I'm just telling you, as a dad, you had to be proud of him.
Well, yeah, listen. And here's the deal, man. And I'll tell you this, and funny, RT sitting there. One of the things my son and I have talked about, whether it goes back to the Arkansas game or the TCU game, I'll tell you this, what really made him who he is today are playing against kids like RT's son, the Midwest City Tigers. We actually had this conversation a couple weeks ago. A lot of people aren't built that way, that to handle the heat, to be in that pressure moment. My son has talked about being in that pressure moment from the very first onset of him started playing football, with the competition that we have in our league. You guys have both been in a part of that league.
Yes, sir.
And it goes back to that. And so, when all you know is to go out and compete, although it's a big stage for a lot of people, and a lot of people are watching, for him it's the same thing as playing at Telstar and Woodson Park.
That's it. Amen.
Playing football between the stripes.
That's it.
Said the labor got it
And
straight.
so what I told him after that game was, listen, the business of football, I said, is always going to have ups and downs like this. But you have no reason to hang your head. I'm proud of you as a dad. The family's proud of you with the way you competed. And on that stage, you delivered, in my opinion, just an unbelievable performance. 5 touchdowns, no interception, 388 yards. I didn't know that then at the time, but I've since learned. In the history of the series, 114 years, there's only been 2 quarterbacks that throw for 5 touchdowns in that game. Sam Bradford's one, who lost, by the way, on the day he threw 5, and now my son, Casey Thompson. I got to be honest with that. I can't tell you how proud I am of the way he showed up on that day.
And guess what, CT, he still got 2 more years, right?
He still has 2 more years to play, yes.
I tell you right now, Lincoln is scratching his head. He's scratching his head like, man, we got to battle. We got to prepare for this guy for 2 more years. And I'm just telling you, he played lights out. He showed it on what? National TV. And now everybody got to be sitting at home like, why the hell is this kid not starting in Arkansas? Because I'm telling you, he starts in Arkansas game, they win that ball game. They win that ball game.
Yeah.
But I just tell you, go ahead, CT. Go ahead. It's your show.
No. For me, listen, man. I mean, here's what the thing that I think that I'm. Listen, guys. Casey has graduated. Listen, a lot of people. He's graduated already.
Yes, sir.
Casey's at the University of Texas. Has one class online, so he is studying football all the time. Like he's a guy that's OCD with it. And what I'm most impressed about Casey, and everybody looks at, listen, the touchdowns and the fight. I look at the little things, how he moves, maneuvers his feet in the pocket, his progression of where he knows where everybody is kind of at all times. There were a couple of times, I'll tell you this, there were 5 incompletions. I don't even know how he got the ball off, that he was so much under pressure.
Yes, sir.
The play that the wide receiver hurt his shoulder on diving for the ball, I don't even know how he got the ball to the guy, but he knows where everybody is. He's really in tune, and I'm more impressed by his football IQ than I am about his natural ability to throw the ball around the field or to run to make somebody miss.
Yes, sir. I just tell you, man, you gotta be pumped, man, to have you, his brother, sitting there in the stands, man. I'm just telling you, I'm an OU fan, but I was a Texas. People get mad at me, but I was cheering for that young man. One, like you said, knowing him through the Woodson, knowing him through Telstar, watching the Titans grow up. My little Bombers and all this battling, having good times. Midwest City Tigers. But that's what it's learned, because I think that we have done a great job, and I can speak for me, you, and RT, and Greg, and Dre, some of these guys. We've done a great job teaching these kids football, because I'm telling you what happened. These high school kids, coaches are getting these kids, right? And they're already prepared because they was in a good program. So they ain't got to do nothing but kind of brush them up.
Battle tested. They were already battle tested, man. Everybody don't want to, listen, we know this. I'm still involved with you. Football, man, everybody really don't want that smoke, Tony.
No.
They don't really want it.
Hey.
They talk about it, but they really don't want it, man. I mean, I get all these guys this New Age stuff. I know we get a lot, but these guys are talking. We're going to go play here, and we're doing them now. I say, but man, just find the smoke and play it.
That's it.
You ain't got to travel all over.
Don't talk about it.
Just be about it. That's right.
Man, you're speaking the truth, because you hear all these high school coaches, man, we're going to play here, we're going to do this, and you say something about their team or say something about their player, they get all butthurt. Man, it's football. You've been through it. You watched your kid sit for 3 years, and he was better than the kid that was in front of him. Then they bring another kid in and sit him. Come on now. You've been through it. But guess what? You sat back and waited your turn, and we've been talking about this on the show. A lot of people want to pack up and run because they're scared of the battle. Sometimes you got to wait your turn. I almost packed my boys up and left, but I said, no, what? We're going to finish this battle. We're going to finish this battle. Best year they ever had. They got the ball rolling over there. You know what I'm saying? That 2020 class. I'm preaching it, because I'm telling you, I get tired of people packing up and want to run. But your boy did the right thing, man. Like I said, he played lights out, and I was so tickled that you let me have this conversation tonight, because, man, who would want to talk to CT after what his boy put on? An Oklahoma kid wearing that orange. Proud of you, CT.
Where do you think he get it from?
He get it from his daddy.
Man, CT, let me tell you something.
What's up, RT?
We don't say this a lot, so I'm gonna say it more often. I would like to congratulate you on being able to overcome adversity and raising 3 great young men, having an influence on their life, and inserting the skills that they need to be a successful father, dad, big brother, citizen. But in addition to that, you're still touching these kids through your youth football league as well as ministry. See, a lot of people don't know that, and see, a lot of bad news sell. But it's time for us to start, picking up one another and sharing that good news, so that we can continue to become stronger, or continue to raise these young, strong men. So hats off to you and yours. I was cheering for Casey. I'm not an OU fan or Texas fan. My boy went to Old State. But, as you said, when we was younger, or when they was younger, or both, the only games we prepared for was you and Casey. And, man, I learned a lot from you as well.
Well, RT, man, I really, really appreciate that. Here's what it's funny. So when ESPN came in and they wanted to do the story that showed on game day, of course, Chris Fowler, with they showed, he had interviewed me while I was incarcerated, and something they talked about. But here's what I told him, and here's my motto: people can sit around. I don't run from the fact of the failures and the down system the things that I've done in the past. That's helped me become who I am. I tell people all the time, you guys watch the movie 8 Mile, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You guys familiar? And Eminem grabs the mic at the end, and he basically talks about himself. Then he throws the mic back to the guy, now tell these people something they don't know about me. That's how I feel about my situation. I'm not afraid to tell people, yeah, I had troubles. I had issues when I was a 19-year-old kid, thinking I was on top of the University of Oklahoma. Yep. But this is what I've overcome. So now it doesn't, RT and Tony, other people get more bothered by it when they bring it up. I don't. It's been a platform that's God allowed me to become the man that I am, that allows me to be able to reach some of these youth that may not have listened to me. But when I can tell them, I've been on the top of the hill, Doc, and I've looked down. Trust me, you can quickly be on the other side of that coin. You can be at the bottom of the hill looking up. It can happen that quick. And we talked about that with my son, Casey. Listen, last January, after the Alamo Bowl, we went to Arizona. I had a camp out there. My son, Casey, came with me. We were at Spencer Rattler's high school. He and Spencer came out. They were throwing the ball around. And all through the spring and summer, my son talked about, man, Spencer's got it made at OU, and he's Heisman this and #1 pick. Beginning this year, my son was named the starter. But I said, sometimes you got to persevere through something. When you go through the wilderness, sometimes it's only helping you as a test, build your testimony. Yep. Look at now, 5, 6 weeks in the season, now Spencer Rattler is faced with his situation, and look how things have turned for my son down there.
Yes, sir.
It's a great testament to perseverance. It's a great testament to having the faith, and it's a great testament to believing in yourself and putting stock in yourself and fighting and doing things when no one else thinks you're able to do it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Charles, if the draft was tomorrow, Casey's going 1, Spencer might be going 10. I'm just going to keep it 100 because I'm telling you, Spencer.
Well, we just taking it day by day, week by week. You know what I'm saying? I just want Casey to be able to take it one game at a time, 1 week at a time. Right now, our focus is on OSU.
Go get him. Go get him.
We had a great run at OU. That's in the past. Now we got to go worry about the Cowboys coming into town.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, Charles, man, it's always great to talk to you, man. I'm glad you gave us a few minutes, man. I was tickled, man, when I texted you and you said you would do it because, man, I'm telling you, man, sitting on my couch, I didn't get to go to the game. I had a ticket. I didn't go because my wife couldn't go, so I didn't think it was fair if I went. She didn't go. That's me being a good husband. I know sometimes people think I'm bad, but sometimes I'm good. But I did say she was mad because she's like, we should have went to that game. And I told her, Jess, if we'd have went to that game, oh, you would have got beat, and I've been really pissed off spending all that money for the week. But I'm saying it was a great game to sit home and watch, man, and watch you enjoy with your son. I'm just telling you, man, you enjoy those moments because, I mean, like you said, he was in high school, now he's in college, and hopefully he goes off to pro. Man, time is short, and enjoy every minute of it, man, because I'm telling you, man, I'm about to cry. Like I said, my baby girl turned 11. That's my last one in the house. And I tell people all the time, not only she's my daughter, but she's my best friend. And, and it's hard to say that because.
Listen, guys, for me, listen, you guys know, Tony, RT, this, listen, I'll never forget where I come from. I never forget the people. Listen, you guys are part of helping me build Woodson Park and the things we did out there and the things that we touch a lot of kids. And so, man, y'all call me anytime I need anything. Y'all know I'm going to answer the phone, and I'm going to always be able to do what I can. I appreciate you guys putting together shows like this and what you guys doing. So, man, hats off to you guys as well. So, man, my number is always open for you guys. Call it anytime.
I appreciate it, Charles. You have a great evening. Good luck this week. Go get them cowgirls.
No. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Folks, that's Charles Thompson, man. It's great when you can bring a legend like that. And you heard him say it, keep it 100, keep it 100. His phone is always open to us, man. And we done some good stuff with Charles, me and RT. I know Big E was probably still in diapers at the time. But I'm just telling you, though, man, the guy's a great guy. And that's what I like about the man. He can tell you what he did wrong. Some people like to hide what they did wrong. They don't want that to come to light. But he knows. His son don't hide from it. Either one of his boys hide from it. But both his boys has played college ball and went on, and one had a chance to play NFL ball.
Kendall actually played 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years in the NFL. So it just tells you what he's done with those kids, man. And Charles is I'm telling you right now, he's a great leader, man. He's one of those guys you like that when he talks, you listen like E.F. Hutton, It's good. Folks, hey, I know this show is hot, boy. It's hot like hot cake. Hey, that sandwich so good, he already finished it. Hey, baby, let's keep it going. But we got another hot guest. A kid out of Coweta, Mason Ford is going to come on and join a few minutes with us after we do one of our what?
After one of our sponsors.
Keep it 100.
Oklahoma High School Sports.
Be right back.
You tired of going out to your trash can, having to smell so bad? Well, no further. Call Spiffy Cans. He cleans, disinfects, sanitizes. 405-423-8824 or go to spiffycansok.com. Spiffy Cans, he's your man.
Spiffy Can, he's your man.
Welcome back to Keep It 100 Oklahoma High School Sports. Folks, I'm telling you, it's hot and hot. I'm not talking about just in the dungeon. It's hot with the callers and the picks that we're doing, man. On the phone, we got all the way out of Coweta, Oklahoma, we got Mason Ford. What's up, Mason?
What's up, man?
How you doing this evening, man? I know you got game. You got big game tonight. You ready to get it going. You got who y'all got? McAllister tonight?
We got McAllister tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I know, with that big McAllister game, both of you guys come undefeated. I know you're a project of Dwight Dobbins, man. I know you worked out my boys when they was going to see Big Dobb, and I'm telling you, it's funny because we're sitting there thinking about who can we get. We wanted to get somebody from the other side of the state and kind of talk to them and find out what's going on the other side of the state. And I remembered you as a young man, 8th grader, 7th grader out there working with us at Perkins or in Tulsa, and I just remember watching your footwork, and I kept saying, this young man's going to be good. Now you're in your junior year, and you're taking care of business. So what's your season been like so far?
Well, we've had a pretty good season this year. It's actually came to a little bit of surprise because we lost a lot of seniors last year, and I didn't think we were going to be like this year, but all of our players came ready to play this year, and we've been winning every game by a lot, but this will be our real test tomorrow because I think we're ranked number 1 in the state and they're ranked number 2, so it'll be a real good game.
So what kind of game does McAllister bring to? Are they passing teams? I know you are a lockdown DB that can play both sides of the ball, but I know right now, you got schools looking at you, but what does McAllister bring? Are they more of a running team? Are they going to try to throw the ball? What are they going to do?
They're more of a running team. They got a junior running back named Eric McCarty. I think he's got some offers from K-State and Pittsburgh. I think a couple other places, but I can't really remember. But they pass a little bit, but they do mostly screens, so I don't know if we'll get to see a lot of deep balls or anything like that.
So, as a defensive back, who do you kind of face your game out? Because, there's been some great ones around, Deion Sanders, everybody used to love the man. Green and those guys. I know those guys a little bit older than you, but who do you kind of base your game off, as a DB?
I usually watch Jalen Ramsey because he has great footwork and he's a little cocky and he gets things done.
I tell you, man, I don't know, Mason. You're looking at my size now. Back in the day, I was a good DB over at Midwest City. I went and played a little small ball in Kansas. But I tell you, though, Mason, you're right about being cocky. You got to be, because you're the guy on the island. And I used to tell those guys, man, and I'm keeping it 100. I used to tell those guys to line up across me, hey, hope your girlfriend didn't come tonight. And they'd be like, why? I said, because you ain't catching nothing tonight, because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lock you down and tell your mama to tell you good night. But that's how you got to be. I told my boy Gabe, used to be a corner, till he switched over to the offense side of the ball. You got to have that attitude. And I like it that you said you got to be cocky. Because a lot of people get out there, man, because one thing about being a DB, if you get beat, everybody see it. Everybody's pointing at you. But you got to have a short memory, though. I hope you have that, though. I understand you probably do have that working on Dobbs because I'm telling you right now, he's one of the best in the game. So, Mason, I know you play on the offensive side of the ball, so what do you like better, offense or defense?
I like defense personally because, like you just said, I actually like kind of talking trash to people getting their heads. Yeah. But I like offense, but I'd rather play defense because I like hitting people and, just like it more.
Yeah, I see your highlight film, man. I got a chance to watch some of it, man. And I tell you, one of the best plays that I liked on that highlight film, and then this really, really got me pumped up, is that Taffy from Bishop McGinnis broke loose, man. And here you're on the other side. You did your ankle pursuit, and you caught him, and you ran him down. You can't teach that. I teach that right now. I coach a 6th grade team, and I talk about ankle pursuits all the time. I remember one time sitting in the living room, we were playing PC. My boy was playing against PC West, and, wasn't a good team. And he didn't hawk the kid down. He didn't chase the kid down. I sat him down when we watched game film. That next week we played a lot, and he did the same thing you did. And I'm telling you, that's comes from good coaching, watching the game, studying the game. Because if you think it's going to be given, if you don't catch that game, guess what? That might be the difference of Bishop McGinnis winning that ball game. So I have to give you props on that, though, man. Your ball skills and then your catching, man. I watched you do a double move on somebody at the slot receiver. So you're a great athlete. But I gotta say though, Mason, I got a Carl Albert Titan guy in the house. His son is played for Carl Albert, and they won the 5. Being in 5A, they're the team to beat. I know you got McAllister, but
Yep.
who's the team that scares you the most in 5A this year? Be real.
In 5A, I'll probably have to give it to. Well, Carl Albert hasn't been doing too well this year. I think they're like 2-2 or 3-2, something like that.
They lost.
As of right now, it's McAllister because our coaches have been hyping him up since week 1.
Well,
so I think that's personally my team that.
Well, Mason,
I'm scared of the most.
after you knock off McAllister, you ain't got to worry about them. You better be worried about them Titans. I'm telling you, man, them Titans is they got a quarterback over there in Reed DeQuazy. They're getting some guys back. And I'm not saying it because I got a Titan sitting next to me and I got a helmet Titan on my deal because I'm all about Mason Ford right about now because he's on the show. But I tell you, you're right, man. I think 5A is open, and I said this from the beginning. I think Colorado will lose some ball games, but they found a way to win because that's just that winning tradition over there. I got to see their coach today, talk to him, and we talk sports, a little bit of football. But I tell you, when you got McAllister, you got Coweta, you got Deer Creek. I'm not Deer Creek. I'm talking about Guthrie. You got Bishop McGinnis. You got Collinsville. I'm telling you, you got some tough teams, man. And think about it. Some of you guys are going to meet in the first or second round, in the third round to get there. So I think it's wide open this year. I think you guys got a good chance. You guys are a good passing team, and I think you got. I know you talk about McAllister being a running team. Think about it, Mason. It might be raining on Thursday night, and you might not get that chance to put the ball. They're gonna put the ball on the ground. So I don't think McAllister got enough to beat you guys. I think you guys are throwing the ball around. It's gonna be hard to cover, especially if they ain't got no DBs. It's gonna be hard to cover you guys. So I'm gonna put it right here, Mace. I think Coweta get to the championship, and they're gonna play Collinsville. Here we go. I don't know, but I mean, I just think it's gonna be. I say Collinsville. Who you think? You think? I mean, is Collinsville that good?
I don't know. I haven't really seen them play yet, but I know their conference isn't too hot though. They got Tahlequah.
Oh, so they're playing JV games, huh?
Basically, in my opinion.
I love it.
He's keeping it 100.
Hey, you want to know something, Tony?
Yes, sir. Talk to me, RT.
Carl Albert and Coweta won't meet in the championship the way the districts are set up. They meet before the championship. So the winner out of that bracket will probably be the champion.
Okay. Well, heard it first from my man RT. Well, Mace, real quick before we let you go, do you got some schools interested in looking at you right now in your junior year?
I've had a couple school reached out to me. I know David Glennon from Memphis, the receiver coach, has been texting me a little bit. TU has reached out. Iowa State's been sending me mail quite a bit. And then OBU, Oklahoma Baptist.
You're better than OBU. Yeah. I mean, just tell them thank you, but no thank you. We'll catch you. We'll catch you at a dance or something. But I mean, with your games being so tight, though, Mace, I think that have you got a chance to go to some camps and stuff like that and get yourself in front of these guys? I think once they get in front of you, because how tall are you? About 5'10", about 170?
Yeah, about 5'10".
And playing it, and think about it though, you can play that nickel package. You can play that slot receiver. You can also play safety. So the good thing about it, you're a great athlete, and you do kickoff returns and all that stuff. So put yourself out there, man. I mean, get your film together and put it out there. I mean, I know your coaches do a good job, but also have Dobbins help you do it because he's good at that, man. I'm telling you, have him do it. He helped me. He helped a lot with my boys, and I'm just telling you, you got a great guy that's going to push you and get you there, and he knows that Tulsa area. And as a DB, everybody wants to be 6'1", 6'2", but I'll tell you right now, with your ball skills, man, you can play both sides, offense or defense, or even play that nickel package, or even play that safety package. So special teams too. I mean, all it takes is what can get you on the field and get you a scholarship paid for. Well, Mason, is there any shout outs to any guys on the team? So when they go back and watch the show, keep it 100. You can tell us about some of the guys on the team real quick.
Our quarterback, Gage Ham, he's a senior. He's about 6'3". He's a real good athlete. He started since his freshman year. He started at safety his freshman year, but he's played quarterback for the rest of the 3. But he's legit. He could play safety, in my opinion. He's a lot better at safety than QB. But our coach won't really let us play both ways if he QB.
Yeah.
And I got my brother in the Carlin Starks. He just got hurt, but He was a ball player. I think he tore his ACL.
Oh no, what grade is he in?
He's a my grade. He's a junior.
Okay.
He's one of our top receivers too, and he played DB. But hopefully his MRI come back and it's not his ACL.
Yeah. But, man, I hate to hear that. Hopefully he can recover quick. But Mason, do you play any other sports besides football?
Yeah, I play basketball and I run track.
That's good. That's good. So you're in the right deal. So if it came down to all three, which one do you want to go to college for?
Definitely football for sure.
That's good. Yeah. Well, Mason, man, like I said, I'm glad you got to come on Keep It 100, man. You're our first kid we have from the Tulsa area, and it kind of gets me excited because we're going to try to get more guys from that area. Like I said, I've got a chance to watch you with Dwight Dobbins, do your footwork action as a young 7th grade, 8th grade kid, man. Now you out here in the high school ranks taking care of business, man. And whatever school gets you is going to get a great young man, a very well-spoken young man, too. So tell your parents they've done a great job of getting you prepared to speak because a lot of kids can't speak, and you're doing a great job. So we thank you, RT, Big E. We thank you for coming on the show. Keep It 100, man. We'll send this to your link and let you know, and you tweet it out to your friends and tell anybody that wants to come on. We love promoting kids. That's what we're here for. We do this to promote guys, and man, we'll tag Memphis and all the schools that you mentioned in this too. Okay?
Definitely.
All right. Hey, appreciate you having me on the show.
No, I appreciate you coming on the show, man. You won. Hey, I'm a winner for having you, a great star like you, on this show. So I'm a winner tonight. I'm gonna sleep good, man. My wife might even get a hug tonight, Mason, just because of you. Thank you. Have a great evening. Tell Mom and Dad I said hi.
Thank you.
All right.
I will.
Thank
Appreciate
you, sir.
it.
Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye-bye. Well, folks, that's Mason Ford, man, an outstanding DB. Receiver. Special team. Basketball and track star for the Coweta. I'm telling you, folks, I have got a chance to see this young man. He works with Dobbins, one of the best. I ain't gonna say that.
Where he come from?
He come from that CA. I'm gonna tell you, Dobbins is the real deal. Hey, I'm gonna tell you real quick, Dobbins is the real deal, folks. He is. And so if you trying to get your baby boy in the right mind, right place, go see Dwight Dobbins. He's out of Tulsa. He'll meet you halfway on that turnpike. His prices are good. I mean, back in the day, he might have went up because with the pandemic, he might have went up. So, but I tell you, man, this young man Mason is the real deal. I'm telling you, his feet are straight. He is good. So, folks, here we go, man. We're gonna keep this rolling, man. I know. Yeah. Hey, we hot tonight, man. We too hot. What we got, Big E? We got to go.
Let's go. This week we got starting off in 6A1. We got a rematch of last year's state championship, Jinx versus Edmond Santa Fe. At Edmond Santa Fe.
Who you got?
Man, I'm gonna pick Jinx. They're number one right now, and
28-14 Jinx.
I cannot disagree.
28-14. All three of us. Here we go. Men in black. All agree.
Boom.
Here we go.
Let's talk about this one. Union versus Moore. Moore started off to that hot start. We were talking about them last week. We were high on them. They ended up losing to Norman North.
35-14.
Who?
Union. Hey, Moore, Coach Hill, I love you, but I'm telling you right now, you're running into that brick wall, baby. You got back-to-back. Norman North kind of put the stinger on you. Where's my fly swatter? You got stung by him. But I'm telling you right now, Union, it might just be too much for you. I don't know if you got some guys hurt. I was really shocked by that score last week, 29-6 or wherever it was, getting beat by Norman North. But I'm telling you right now, Norman North can't even play with Union. So I'm telling you, it's going to be another tough ball game. So sorry, Coach Hill. Maybe you get it going next week.
All right. Then moving on to 6A2, we got Sand Springs at Bixby, team that you were high on, Sand Springs.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. I don't think Bobby Clean's going to give up 77. So I think Bixby's going to get that win. They're going to have that, 43rd? 43rd. So I'm going to say 56-14.
56-14. All right.
Hey, I'm 3-0 right now, baby.
All right.
Yeah, this week.
this week.
So far. Here we go.
Was 0-3 the previous.
This one might get you, Tony.
Get me.
It might. Deer Creek at Midwest City.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you, man. If you watch the Coach Jones show, you see two good-looking men on that show every Thursday morning. I'm gonna tell you right now, like I told Coach Jones. Well, you always say, "What's your favorite line?" You what? You got it late. Got it.
Oh, you said it straight but got it late.
Deer Creek with the win. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Whoa.
Right, Deer Creek with the win.
Whoa.
Hey, Bombers. I love you. I don't have one of your helmets on my table, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's Deer Creek in Midwest City, not Deer Creek.
DC.
Deer Creek, not Midwest City. Deer Creek. Here we go. Let me tell you. Deer Creek 28, Bombers 10.
Coach Jones, when y'all have y'all weekly show, you know how you and Tony sit by each other. I think you need to have two of your big linemen stand right next to him.
Why?
And he's gonna feed him a chicken sandwich because
I'm picking.
He don't have
Deer
faith
Creek.
in you. I got faith in you.
Time out. I'm talking about Deer Creek, Midwest City. They play next week. It's Deer Creek, Midwest City tonight.
I'm tripping.
There you go. He owed me a chicken. He jumping the gun.
Wait a minute.
Next week.
No knock against Midwest City. Shout out to Coach Hall, Middale Strong. However, man, I was looking forward to a real game.
Yeah. Talking about Midwest City, Dale City?
No.
Oh, tonight?
Dale City and Deer Creek.
That's next. That's
what
next.
I'm saying. I was
night.
looking forward to that game. Yeah.
Now, Midwest City, I love you guys.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah, 28-10, Deer Creek. Hey, I'm telling you right now, next week is going to be the showdown. It's going to be Deer Creek and Dale City for the district championship. It's going to be played at Deer Creek, so Eagles, be ready, be prepared, be mentally strong because you're going to get every call against you because, hey, the game is in their hand. You got to go take care of business. But Deer Creek's going to take care of business first against the Bombers.
Agree.
Hey, I love you, Bombers, but you ain't got no fuel in the jet, so you're going down.
All right, moving on to 5A. Let's talk about McAllister, Coweta. We just got off the phone with Mason Ford over at Coweta.
That's gonna be a good one.
Number 2 versus number 3, and they're both undefeated.
Well, McAllister, man, I still think they got to. I mean, it's kind of surprising. He just said he lost one of their best athletes, so I don't know where they stand. But I just don't think McAllister has enough to beat Coweta. I think Coweta got some good athletes. That Mason kid, I'm telling you, if they got 2 or 3 kids like him, footwork like him, it's going to be tough though. So I'm gonna pick Coweta in a slight edge, 24-21.
24-21. Coweta. Man, I'm just gonna pick the other side just to be, somebody's got to win a chicken sandwich this week.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you right now.
I'm gonna pick McAllister to win, 35-28.
Oh, okay.
I like that, Big E. But you know what, man? You better go get a second job. He's gonna he's gonna have to pay me.
He's gonna have to pay you.
He's gonna have to pay me.
He's gonna have to pay you. Okay.
Let's go.
We'll see. All right. Next we got what else do we got in 5A? Piedmont at Carl Albert. Just a couple. Was it last year? A couple of years?
2 years ago. This is the team that knocked off Carl Albert. Knocked them off from the winning streak. Only Ben got 2 losses. He got Bigsby and Piedmont, and he still dreams about both of those teams. Reed DeQuazy is coming off hot, man. The kid is coming off fresh off the press like at the Daily Oklahoma. And I'm going to say something real quick. Somebody challenged me a couple weeks ago and said, man, you ain't a journalist. You ain't a journalist. You a stalker. But that's right. You're right. I'm not. But I went out and got me a journalist. This guy worked for the Daily Oklahoma. So that's what I do, folks. I go get the source. I have the person that can help me get better at my game, me and Big E. So that's what I'm doing. But I'm going to tell you right now, Carl Albert's hot. They hot. Fresh sticker on my helmet. That's how hot they are. You see they made the table. You know why? Because they're on a 4-game winning streak. And I'm going to tell you right now, Reed ain't slowing down. He's showing people where he should have been playing that he didn't get no game. But now he after, hey, they said he couldn't throw. They said he couldn't run. But guess what? 2 weeks in a row, he's found a way to put that C8 magic and get them in the end zone. So, am I jumping on the Carl Albert bandwagon? Just a little bit, but Piedmont, you're going down. It's going to be a long drive back home tonight. Hey, I know you're close to Deer Creek. Maybe y'all can get together and celebrate if Deer Creek wins district, but they're not because Dale City going to knock them off next week. But I'm keeping it right. I'm keeping it 100. Carl Albert, 44. Piedmont, 21.
Ooh. 21?
21. They're going to score some points. But Carl Albert's going to score more.
What you got, Big E?
Man, I got Carl Albert winning the game, but I don't know if they're going to put up 44.
Hey, it's fall break, baby. Everybody's ready to get off and go celebrate, Big E. It's time to go, man. I'm just telling you right now, those coaches are all on the same page right now. I got to hang out with those guys today for a little bit and see what it's like. They're all on the same page, man. And they even offered me some of their beef jerkies. A lot of coaches don't want to do that, but they want to offer me some of their beef jerky. They wanted to give me some. I thought that was really nice. But I think right now, Coach Don is starting to fit in. You know how they say, if it don't fit, you must have quit with a glove. If it don't fit, you must have quit. now the glove is starting to fit over there with Don and the team because they're all on the same page. Because when you first come in, you got the same staff that's been there, and then you got a new guy. I don't care what you say. You got a new guy that comes in. He got to feel like how you feel. It's like us three coming in this show. We got to bounce off each other, and we do. And I think that's where they're at right now. You can see that today in the locker room with the guys hanging out. Hey, I think Colorado's going to be all right, Everybody talk about the 6. They talk about their size, but right now they're starting a bunch of young guys. You got Tanner, Norman. You got
on offense and defense. Shout out Tanner, you're doing an excellent job.
You got my man, the wrestler Fleming. Charlie switched from being
tackle.
From a tight end to a tackle. Wearing his daddy's number 60 was it 61. You got the tight end. He's feeling good, man. I love you,
Mason,
I love you, man. I'm telling you, keep tweeting out, baby. That's what it's all about. Support your team. It's funny, man. People don't want to tweet out. You'll like the show, you'll watch the show, but you don't want to give me no love. That's cool. I see you watching. It tells me who's watching, kind of like Santa Claus. I see who's watching, who's naughty and nice. But I'm just telling you right now, I think Colorado has kind of got it rolling. Going in the playoffs, man, like RT said, they'll meet Coweta or McAllister, one of those teams in the semifinals. Mm-hmm. Hey, if Coach John gets you there, then you get all your players back. Yeah. The team's going to be dangerous, man. I mean, little Sherman ain't even playing yet. No, so I think when you get him back in the field as a leader, as a good defensive back, a good running back. I know Daddy don't want him playing back, but I'm telling you, the kid is a stud. I'm just telling you, he's going to help them.
As soon as he's able, he's going to get in there and do whatever the team needs done
to
help them
win.
Try to get this 6 win. But like you said, they're already champions, man. They're developing all these young kids. Yeah. And, I mean, you mentioned Coach Dunn earlier. He already knew that was a well-oiled machine. He left it alone, added his little touch here and there, and everybody counted them out. You can't count these champions out. So whether they win 6 in a row or not, they already won.
That's it. I mean, that's what it's about, And I'm not jumping on no wagon, but I just think, man, I'm just telling you, they're starting to come together. So Colorado with the win tonight over Piedmont.
All right.
Talk to me, Big E. We got to go. It's time we go to church.
This next game we got in 5A, MacArthur versus Noble. They got MacArthur ranked 4th and Noble ranked 8th. It's at Noble. I got MacArthur, I'm going to say 45-21.
E, quit it. Stop. You're going to Noble. Noble played Memphis City to a tough ball game. Memphis City still got some good athletes. It was a 14-12 ball game. I'm going to tell you right now, Noble's going to knock off MacArthur. MacArthur, they're a good team, but not probably very disciplined. Noble is going to be a disciplined team. And you're going to Noble. And I'm going to pick the Noble Bears, man.
No, Mac is undefeated.
Well, I don't care if you're undefeated, but you're going against, that's sometimes like kind of like old boy just said, Mason said, you're playing in a league that ain't nobody really good at, so you're going to look good. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm going to pick the Noble Bears 21-7. Here we go.
All right, 4A. Let's see. We got, let's look at some of these 4A matchups. I don't look at 4A all that often.
We can't ask Tony because he thought Hera was going to be total last week.
Well, you know what? And I'm giving up to my man over there, Coach Blink. You know what I mean? I want to see those guys do well because they're on this side of the state. He came up short, but Tuttle's a good ball club. Like I said, all they're going to do is battle and run you down the field. And Hera don't have that manpower. Maybe they will one day, but I still got to give it up to Coach Blink and the guys, man. That I want the upset? Yeah, you want the upsets. The guy that we had on the show, a guy that's doing a good job, has turned that program around. They didn't win no ball games for a couple years. He's got more wins in the last few years than they had the last 5 years. So keep rolling, Coach Blink, and doing your thing over there at Hera. But Tuttle, they're the real deal, man. Like I told you before, some of my picks were jokes, but now I'm for real.
Oh, you serious?
I'm serious.
Okay. You got serious because that pocket getting a little empty.
I ain't think
okay. I'm gaining weight. I appreciate you, Tony.
Let me tell you how that pocket look, man. That sucker empty.
Hey,
help me. Hey, do a chicken. Help me with these chicken sandwiches. What we got?
4A. Hera's taking on Ada at Hera.
I think they get back on the win streak.
Yeah, I think they do too. I think they'll get things back together this week, and they'll be right back in it. And then let's see what else we got. Bethany and Newcastle at Bethany. I think Bethany's going to take the win there at their house.
Newcastle's not very good. I know that guy used to coach Casey back in the day, but he ain't got it out there in the Newcastle Razors. Maybe, down the road, but right now they don't have it. So you're right, Bethany will get that win.
Yeah. And then moving on to 3A, you got Seminole versus Lincoln Christian. Sorry, at Seminole, both teams look to be undefeated. So
that's a tough matchup, man. I'm gonna go with Seminole.
You go with Seminole?
You're traveling on that turnpike down to Seminole, man, and you get in them dark woods, man. They drink that moonshine out there in Seminole.
Man, I think I'm gonna have to go with Lincoln Christian.
Oh, you keep going with Lincoln Christian then.
Right.
I like this one, Holden Hall and Berry Hill. I'm gonna pick Berry Hill in this win over there in 4A. I mean, they're both good solid teams. I think they're two of the better teams in 3A, but I'm gonna take Berry Hill in this one.
Go with Holland Hall.
I'm going with Holland Hall as well.
I like that song, man. It sounds like an old Bon Jovi song, Holland Hall. But I'm gonna be real with you. Let's go Berry Hill. You know why I like Berry Hill? Kind of like Barry White.
Sure, you're right.
Here we go. 2A.
Let's see what we got here on 2A. We got Prague versus Crossing Christian.
I'm gonna take Prague with the win. You
gonna take Prague. They coming way from the country, coming out here to Crossings out there by Quail Springs Mall. Yeah, I think that's where they at.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Prague. That ain't that far of a drive, RT. That's just right up the highway, man. It ain't that far. If like you was trying to go to the old mall here, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Prague's gonna get the win.
Why is that?
I mean, because they're Prague.
Because they get down. Okay, and Crossings is kind of what?
I don't even know who the hell Crossing is. I'm gonna keep it 100.
It's a nice little school, like I said, out there off. I believe it's like Wireless Way out there by Quail Springs. It's almost like a private school. They've been kind of winning lately. Last couple of years. They got a nice little program, man. They do a good job with those kids.
And that's good. Well, is that it?
Yeah, that's about it for all these matchups this week. Yeah.
Well, folks, I'm telling you right now, man, it's another great show on Keep 100. Having RT, man, I think it brings in more little funk to the show. Big E, all of us, man, we're doing our homeworks. We're out here searching and trying to get things right. And I tell you, right, we're going to do these next 4 to 5 weeks, man, is have young men on, man, like we had Mason. Get the chance to talk to these guys, man, because I'm telling you right now, a lot of these guys, like he said, he got people talking to him, but, I think when he started getting hits and people started cheering and saying stuff about him, people's like, man, this kid's for real. And I tell you right now, I haven't seen this guy play in person. I've seen this kid work. I've seen his huddle. It's nice. I'm just telling you, if you're a college coach and you're looking for a good DB, and I'm just not trying to sell nobody, I'm being real now. I'm being Anthony Johnson, not Tony Johnson. But I'm just telling you, this kid can go. So, hope somebody, and he's still got another year. I mean, he's good on both sides of the ball, so that's a good thing about it. And he's working with a great guy in Dobbins. But I tell you, there's some great matchups, folks. I mean, I'm telling you, this week it's district, man. You're week 3 in district. Next week you'll start seeing who's going to be the district champions. Week 4, so you're going to start seeing who's the champions. And I'm telling you right now, man, if you're looking at it, man, if really we can dig into it next week, it'll be one of our homeworks. Let's start looking at some people that you think is going to get in. Stillwater's going to have a hard time getting in. Middle City's going to have a hard time getting in. You look at Ponca City, you look at Sand Springs. Choctaw's still good right now, but they all right. They take on Muskogee tonight. How good is that going to be? I mean, driving to Muskogee is a tough gig, man. I mean, last time they went to Muskogee, they got that win in the playoffs. But hey, you ain't got some of the same guys on the field. When you take a beat down like that, and I mean, I'm not meaning it in a bad way. It's kind of hard to recover, man. It's just like when you have surgery, you don't get up and go run. Right. You got to walk before you get there. So I think it's going to be tough, and I think Jake could do it. I think he can get it done. The staff is going to believe in each other. There can't be no finger pointing, and kids can't be pointing at each other saying it's your fault, it's fault. I mean, you win as a team, you lose as a team. And it's so funny because people love to get on there when things are bad. People want to get on there and knock people. And there was a post that was posted the other day, and I called a young man and said, "Hey, I hope you're not thinking it was keep it 100, because one thing we're not going to do, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, we're not going to bash a kid. We might say something, hey, a kid jumped off sides, and hey, me and that coach talked about it. Hey, we won't talk about that. But I'm saying I'm not going to get on there and bash a kid. I might make fun of a school and all that stuff, but it's all for good and fun, because at the end of the day, they don't pay my bills and I don't pay their bills, but we're going to keep it 100 because that's the name of this show, because I'm not going to be fake. I'm going to be real. But if anybody got any questions, because me and Shane Hawk, we talked it out last Friday night. We good. Same neighborhood over there in Eastside Jets. Grew up with me and RT. But I'm saying, folks, I'm not here to beef for nobody, but I'm telling you right now, I'm going to keep it real. If you're not doing the funk, I'm going to show you the funk. So that's where I'm at. Another great show with my two guys, RT and Big E. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here?
Nah, just make sure y'all keep subscribing, commenting. I mean, I've seen our subscriber count go up every single week. I mean, we appreciate y'all subscribing, and we appreciate y'all's feedback as well.
That's what happens when you bring Debo to the show with this gold chain.
Man, cut that out. But no, you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
For those who are out there listening or watching, their ultimate goal is to give you guys praise and kudos, coaches, schools, and even more importantly, these players. You have no idea how important it is for these guys' huddle views to go up, the retweets to go up, the likes to go up. Because they're battling so many guys to get these scholarships, no matter what level it is.
Yes, sir.
These guys are young men, student athletes. They need all the support. You know, the old saying is it takes a village to raise a kid.
Yes, sir.
I mean, everyone. So if you have aspirations of playing at the next level, I'm speaking directly to the players right now. Get with your parents, teammates, coaches, counselors, family, everyone, and get them behind you and tell them exactly what your goals are so it'll be a team effort and it's just not on you because you got too much to work on with studying, making sure that you pass those classes. And before you consider playing at the next level, I really recommend that you look at your GPA.
Yes, sir.
Make sure that you studying for that ACT.
Yep.
You're registered for a clearinghouse. And be real with yourself. Whatever position that you're playing, go look at like the top 10. Go to ESPN, whatever, whoever's the top 10. Go look at those schools. Look at the height and weight and specs of that player that you want to play that position, and that will tell you if you pass what they call as the eyeball test. If you can pass that, you got the grades, nice ACT score, and register with the clearinghouse. After that, it's just building relationships.
Building them. That's the most important. And believe me, you never know who's in the stands. I tell my baby girl all the time, you never know who's in the stands. So always keep that attitude straight, face straight, don't show emotions. Because one thing about it, a coach can love you, then he sees how you act. He don't want to bring that spoiled milk to his refrigerator, so don't be that guy. But real quick, before I let you go, shout out to my Jones Longhorns. We take on Shawnee this Saturday.
Good luck.
We got a chance to win the conference district, wherever they call it. I'm having fun. I thank Roman Durham and the guys I'm getting to coach, man. And, you know, I can't see every kid's name on the show, but I told, you know, Roman after the Shawnee game, we win that game, I want to do a special Keep It 100 and let them kind of do their thing and you know, let them see it. I know they're all subscribed to it, and that's probably something I put up, but they love it, man. But I'm telling you, man, I got some great kids. You know, the offensive line is great with Jackson, Ty, you know, some of those guys, man. I can't name every one of them. Little Jay Bird's boy. I just tell you, man, you know, and one thing I will say, though, and it's funny, one of our kids got in trouble last week, and the mama set him out at the game. And he's a big kid. He's probably about 6'1", and she said he ain't playing. And that's what it's all about, because it starts in the house.
Yes.
And you know, granted, much as we needed that kid, his mama sat him. So shout out to, you know, Jones' parents, and, you know, taking me on, letting me come be part of this, man. I love it because I'm telling you, we've done some cool stuff. You know, I got the ninja put in, I got the veer put in, I got the eye. I even stole a play from Carl Albert, man.
You stole a play from who?
I stole from Carl Albert, man.
That school right there?
That school right there. I hate to say it, man. They go that heavy. That's what I do. I go heavy. I got all three guys line up, you know, and then pistol, then two goes over. Then we kind of run that quarterback. That play that Reed DeQuazy scored on in the Guthrie game. And I kind of got a pass play off because every play bounces off another play. But thank you, Jones. Thank you. Keep It 100, my family here, for another great episode. And then happy birthday to my baby girl, Zoe.
Happy birthday, baby girl.
Love you. And we're out of here. Once again, another great show. Keep it what?
Keep It 100, Oklahoma High School Sports. See you next week.